Morning, beautiful people. This is Bread from the Beach. We're back after having sort of a self-imposed break from doing these videos. But I think now John and I have got our brains back together and our spirits back together, and we are really ready to share what God's put on our heart. And we're excited about it. As you can see behind me here, we're down at the ocean, and there are a number of people around here. This is Labor Day. Signifying the sort of the end of summer, and hopefully as we shoot more of these in the fall there'll be fewer people down here, but I'm sure that the restaurants and the other folks will hate to see the people go home. But nevertheless, this represents sort of the end of the summer for the beach season, and we're just excited to be here, excited to have this opportunity to be down here on the water, and you can hear the ocean maybe a little bit in the background. It's just great to see what God has provided for us, this opportunity to be in the sun and talk about the sun. It's great. His name is Jesus, and we're here really to share Jesus with you on this day. I've got a couple of passages of scripture. This morning I just want to share with you out of John chapter 5. It has long been one of my favorite passages, and those of you who know me know that I obviously spend a lot of time in this particular book. And but this chapter 5 has an encounter that Jesus has with this man that had been an invalid, according to the scripture, for 38 years, which is a long time. And he had found himself probably on many occasions lying next to the pool of Bethesda, which according to the legend and so on, that an angel would come and flutter her wings, and then the first person that would get in the water after they were fluttered and the water is disturbed would receive a healing. So you can imagine that there would be a lot of people around this pool just waiting for this occurrence so they could receive their healing. And then Jesus comes up on this. It's a place called the Pool of Bethesda. And when Jesus gets there, he sees this man who is an invalid. And scripture says that when Jesus realized that he had been as an invalid for 38 years, Jesus had a question for him. And the question that Jesus asked was, do you want to get well? The word there is when Jesus realized he had been in this condition. Over the years, I've tried to tell people there's a difference between a problem and a condition. Problems come and go, some get solved, some don't. But a condition is something that gets created over a period of time. And so after 38 years, this man is in a condition. Not only could he not move since he was a paralytic, but he's there next to this place where you can be healed if you jump in after the angel flutters her wings, yet he's got no way to get there. And over the course of years, if he's been there multiple times, he's got to have questions like, what kind of God is it that would provide this kind of healing and yet leave others without healing, and so on. So he's in this condition, and Jesus, recognizing this, simply says, do you want to get well? Now, we don't know exactly what the man's response is, but we do know that evidently it was a response that satisfied the heart of the Lord, because the man is healed. Now, the question there is, do you want to get well? And honestly, without delving into a lot of political stuff right now, I'm concerned about our nation. And the question is, do we really want to get well? Do we really want to get healthy? Are we willing to just turn our eyes off of the material things and off of those things of the world and turn our eyes to the Lord so that we can find the healing from this condition? We live in a society that is so self-centered, where everything is focused on me, what I want, my family, my stuff, and yet there's a whole world out here where people are living in pain and brokenness. And I think sometimes when you find a nation like the U.S., the question God simply says to us is, do you want to get healthy? Do you really want to get well? And obviously the response there that he's looking for is that we would get our eyes off of ourselves get our eyes off of the things of this world and get our eyes on Jesus, who is our hope, who is our salvation, who is our healing. He is the source of our wholeness. He is the one who heals relationships. He is the one that we must turn to if we're going to find healing and deliverance in this season. So the question that I have really today, not only for myself and others in this country of ours, but for the country as a whole, do we really want to get well? If we really do, then the only appropriate response is to turn our eyes and hearts towards Jesus, acknowledge that He's Lord of our lives, Lord of our circumstances, Lord of this nation, Lord of this world, and submit and yield to His authority. Then as we do that, whether everybody joins us or not, we step into that place where our condition can be healed. And as a group that make this nation up, if we make that declaration with our heart and submit to Him, then we will see God turn this nation back to Himself, and we will see miraculous, amazing things happen. So my question is, do we really want to get well? His name is Jesus. This is Bread from the Beach. Be blessed.